Good evening and welcome to the Stephen Leeson Show, which is live from the Scientology Community Centre here in Dublin. And tonight's guest is Laura Colgan. She's a professional wedding and funeral singer and a session vocalist. Families entrust Laura with the huge responsibility of setting the musical tone for their wedding day or a loved one's funeral. Laura has sang since she could speak, and she's an award-winning vocalist, having recently won Wedding Singer of the Year and overall Supplier of the Year at the Weddings Online Awards. She's well known as someone who knows how to get the party started, and accompanying on her guitar is Tom Meehan. Here she is now, Laura Colgan.
So ladies and gentlemen, as Stephen just said a moment ago, my name is Laura Colgan and I'm going to be singing a couple of wedding songs for you that are quite popular in my repertoire, and we might move on to some drinks reception music later on. So this next one is a very popular song. This is called 1,000 Years, and I hope you all enjoy.
Watch
Thank you very much.
That Arizona sky is burning in your eyes. You look at me, babe, I wanna catch on fire. It's buried in my soul, like California gold. You found the light in me that I couldn't find. So when I'm all choked up, but I can't find the words. Every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. When the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember us this way. Lovers in the night, poets trying to write. We don't know how to rhyme, but damn we try. But all I really know, you're where I wanna go. The part of me that's you will never die. So when I'm all choked up, but I can't find the words. Every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. When the sun goes down and the band won't play, I'll always remember us this way. When you look at me, the whole world fades. I'll always remember us this way. Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for that, Tommy. That is from the soundtrack A Star Was Born, and quite recently enough, that has exploded onto the scene, and it has presented so many wedding songs. It has a huge repertoire, and recently enough, I released a cover of Shallow, and it's available on Spotify and YouTube as well. So thank you so much again for playing that one with me. So we're going to move along now, and this is another very, very popular wedding song, and I hope you all enjoy it.
As we gather in the chapel here in Old Birmingham jail, I think about these past few weeks. Oh, will they say we failed? From our school days, they have told us we must yearn for liberty. Yet all I want for we must say goodbye. Oh, yeah.
Grace, that is a very popular one for weddings. Tommy, I think, will agree on that one. Okay, so we're going to move on now to our next song, and we hope you all enjoy it.
In a country church, there's a preacher with his people gathered all around to join a man and woman. Spring is here and turtle doves are singing from the steeple. Bees are in the flowers growing in the graveyard, and over the hill where the river meets the mill, a lovely girl is coming down to give her hand upon her wedding day. Dressed in simple white and wearing flowers in her hair, music as she walks slowly to the altar, picking up his Bible. Then the preacher turns towards her. Will you take this man to be your wedded husband, to honor and love in the eyes of God above? Now let the people sing with me these words to live forever in your heart. Let your love shine on, for we are the stars in the sky. Let your love shine on until the day you fly away. Many years have fallen on that golden country morning. The graveyard's overgrown, the church lies in ruins. Ivy on the walls and ravens wheeling round above me as I make my way to ours, the last remaining headstone. I fell to my knees, read the lines beneath the leaves, and suddenly it seems to me I heard the words I was singing in the trees. Let your love shine on, for we are the stars in the sky.
There you have it, folks. That's Laura Colgan with the backing and fantastic backing of Tom Meehan there, playing some lovely guitar chords and really, really good accompaniment. And what a voice Laura has. And I'm absolutely delighted that Laura is going to be here and chat with me now as well. So, Laura, you're very welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Some great songs there, like, you know.
Thank you very much. They're quite diverse, but they work really, really well for weddings, and they're very popular amongst church weddings, ceremonies, you name it. So I love to sing them.
Definitely imagine, like, I'm just picturing it as you're singing, like you're giving the imagery, like, of.
I know, and I love it. And
the
Christaberg in a country churchyard, it's such an old song. I believe it was released in the 80s, and it's just, I love taking old songs, reviving them, making them current again, and that's what I aim to do in all my songs, really, to be honest with you. So yeah, love it.
You're singing since you could talk, kind of, I think.
So I'm told, anyway, so I'm told.
Yeah.
But I suppose any family occasion there ever was growing up, my mother would always have me, sing for the aunties, and I'd be like, no, ma'am, go away. No, but secretly really
And did you have any training around like that over the years?
Never had any training,
just
no.
all natural?
Believe it or not, Stephen, like I say this now, when I started, I suppose, down the professional route of wedding singing, when I thought I could sing, I actually really couldn't. Looking back on old stuff and old footage. So I think personally, it's just been a case of...
And do you mean you were hitting notes wrong, or you were getting your rhythm was wrong, or
no,
like,
it was more like I could hold a tune, but my voice probably and vibrato probably hadn't developed as much as it has done now. And I think that's down to just constant singing and just doing loads of weddings and funerals and things like that. So it has really, really helped. I suppose it is a muscle at the end of the day, and the way I look at it is, if you're a runner or you're an athlete, you have to keep running to stay fit. I find that is a muscle you have to keep singing to stay gig fit, so.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Even I noticed, like, even for myself as a singer, like, the things you learn yourself that you probably, if someone told you in the first, you would have been quicker at learning it, but you figure it out, like, even breathing, like, just when you're going to hit the high note, what to be doing, or how much you should push and let that note out.
Absolutely. Breathing is a huge thing, and it's only something I've really learned in recent years. You think you can get up and you can sing and whatever, but it's, if you have a big, huge note you need to get out, take a massive breath. All that air is going to push that out for you. It's not so much the sound, it's the air that makes the sound last. So breathing is a huge part of it.
The power behind
it.
Those notes. Try not to, but to try and control that sometimes, I find, like, I'm trying to control it, not to just go too fast and then the note's gone, like,
That's it, exactly. Like, I'm in awe of soprano singers because they have such control and they can hit notes that I wouldn't even dare to even try. That's the truth.
The falsettos, is that what it's called?
Falsetto, yeah.
I don't know how I couldn't do it now myself.
I know.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, I tend to sing a lot in falsetto rather than chest voice, but I find that easier, and for some reason, subconsciously along the way, I've trained myself to do that.
Right.
Whereas the chest voice, I suppose, for the band gigs would be like, proper, raw, hard hitting. But the falsetto always has a softer side to it.
What's your favourite type of music? Or band, or singer, or what do you kind of...
I'm pretty eclectic when it comes to what I love in music. I love a bit of everything. But I am a bit of a rocker at heart. And I was reared, I suppose, on 50s rock and roll, the old school jiving, But I have to say, throughout the years, I'd listen to anything, to be honest with you. Melody's a huge thing for me.
But when you're picking songs for learning, you're picking them because you just love the songs, or you're picking them specifically for the... It's the hard one, isn't it? Like, or for the weddings, obviously, you have to pick the wedding songs, like,
Yeah, I mean, that's why I love my brides, because I call it songspiration, because there's songs that I would never have heard, and they come to me, and I'm kind of like, I've never heard that before, but I love it. Leave it with me. We'll go away. We'll try and put it together, put our own little spin on it, put it in my key if it's not. And by the end of it, I always end up loving the song, and it's another piece of music to add to my repertoire for someone else coming down the line. So
it's because there's so many songs out there. It's great though to give that encouragement when you find a song, then you're like, you just love it, like,
Oh my God, like, and I suppose it's like anything. When you love something, when you love a song, you'll sing it well, I always find some song choices that come to me that could be quite heavily produced, or a lot of synth in it, and 90% of the time we're just two-piece, so we make our own stripped-back version, which is perfect for ceremonies, because you're not really going to be rocking down the aisle to something hard-hitting anyway, do you know?
Yeah, of course.
So Spotify, actually, it has so many acoustic covers. The way they have taken old songs and revived them and put their own spin on them, can't help falling in love there that I sang a couple of moments ago, it's an Elvis classic. It's around years, you know. And there's been so many acoustic covers on Spotify that has revived that again.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good. Timeless songs.
When you're getting requests for wedding songs, at least you have some time to learn them.
Sometimes.
Do you have the quick? I'm getting married tomorrow, like the Vegas ones.
Yeah, honestly, lastminute.com, like.
Right.
But no, so a lot of my couples, I would always be in touch with approximately 6 months to a year in advance, anyway. But some couples and some brides are just so laid back. Like I had one there last week, and she's like, "Laura, you're doing this longer than I am, obviously. I'll just leave it up to you. You pick whatever. I'm easy going." And that kind of gives me a little bit of, oh God, don't give me that responsibility. But she did, and she loved everything I picked, and I kind of had an idea of her personality, so I went with that, and she was delighted. So I was honoured to be given that responsibility.
It is. It's a big responsibility, especially if you've no guidance whatsoever of what they want or like.
Yeah, you kind of get an idea when they give you, you know, have you a snippet of this, or you know, have you a video of that? You kind of have an idea, but when they just leave it all in your own care, it's actually more daunting because you're like, oh God, what do they like and what don't they like? So
you'd think it'd be easier, but I suppose there's more pressure, isn't it? Because it is their day.
Yeah.
What about the funerals though? Because they're so quick over here, like compared to like over in England. I think they could be 3 or 4 weeks, and they have at least some notice, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like I got a phone call yesterday off a lady who sadly lost her mum for Thursday. So she, like that, was easy going. I suppose when it's a religious ceremony, and this would apply to church weddings as well, you have to be respectful. If you're having a religious setting, you have to keep somewhat of the mass liturgical. And a lot of priests that I've come across, very laid back, you know, they will allow some room for a bit of contemporary music. But funerals, very short term, very quick. It's kind of, we normally have one song that we really would like, or that a parent, sibling, or whoever it may be have passed away would like. So, but yeah, if I can try my best to learn that song within 2 days, I'll do it.
It's a challenge
It is.
when you're given a new song, especially if you haven't heard it. If you've heard it, at least they could somewhat learn it.
Yeah.
I've been in the position myself. That's why I was just wondering how you deal with it yourself.
Exactly. It is tough and challenging at times, but I'll be straight up and honest with you. If I feel after listening to that song, I'm not going to deliver that well. I would rather deliver a song that I know well, that I've learned. I will tell that couple, or I will tell that person for a funeral or whatever it may be, listen, I don't think that suits my voice, and I probably just wouldn't. I'd rather not give it a go and sing something well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'd be honest in that sense.
I think it's better that way.
I think so.
I think they'd be happier than you just making a mess of it altogether or something. You know.
Yeah.
How long are you playing full time?
I'm going into my
I'm not trying to
seventh
figure
year.
out the age. Well, let's. You'll say, how old did you when you start?
I know, yeah. Professionally, you mean? I'm going into my 7th year now, professionally. Like everybody, I suppose, working full-time, right, and trying to be a full-time musician and gig with the bands, it took its toll, you know, working all day, going to a gig that night, getting up for work the next morning. So something had to give, and thankfully...
Burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what was happening. So thankfully, my diary became really, really busy, and it was a case of, which one do I go with here? And of course, music won.
You got it. Well,
I haven't looked back.
You love it though, yeah?
I love it. I just love it. Like, I don't drink as a rule. Like, I wouldn't have ever drank. Teetotaler, you could say. But I find singing, dancing, performing is my alcohol. Some people like to kick back with a drink. Give me a microphone, I'm happy. So, yeah.
But being a singer and doing it full time, you have to be a bit nuts as well, though, I think.
I don't know.
You have to have the personality.
You have to be a good actress or actor. But no, like, I mean, it's funny. I had a conversation with a close friend about this recently enough, and just like what you said, you would assume people are confident and happy-go-lucky and whatever, but personally, I am my own worst critic as a singer and performer. I'll always critique. It's like anything. I'll always critique the things that I
think
should have done better.
every performer will.
Exactly.
Though, really.
It's awful though. We shouldn't do that to ourselves, because if you could just take your ears off and put them on someone else and hear yourself externally, you wouldn't say those things about yourself, you know?
That's the truth, yeah.
Well, I hope not.
No.
So, yeah.
There was a question she asked me to ask you. Where was it? Yeah, and I'm surprised because I was asking before the interview if you had anything that you want me to get in to make sure that I did ask you. And it was just one that no one's really asked, like that I've interviewed over the last year, like, you know, pricing and how you deal with the questions and comparing quotes. And it's a very, very valid question because that's what happens when you're being asked and people are going out, who's the best and who's that and what's the price. And some people just look at the price.
Exactly.
So
in my opinion, as a wedding singer, it's a huge industry. There are so many amazing, amazing singers out there. And thankfully, 90% of the time, we're all in a big group together somewhere on social media because I need those singers just as much as I do my own job. And the reason is, if I'm booked, I can recommend, or if I can't do it, those girls will help me out. When it comes to quotes and pricing, we're all pretty much on a level playing field, which is great because I think it's fair then when it comes to a couple looking for music, they're down to talent then. And I am fully aware my voice will not be for everybody, whereas some other singers might be. And I think that's amazing. I think that's wonderful to be able to offer a couple coming along, planning their wedding day, planning their music, that they can turn around and go, I like her, but I like the tone of this singer.
Yeah.
Comes to price, we're pretty much the same. There might be a 50 quid or 100 quid in the difference, but that will always come down to, you know, someone might be closer. There's all sorts to consider, travel, insurance, you know, are they working a full-time job, you know, so things like that. Tax and all that has to come into it as well. So pricing and quotes, thankfully, with the network of singers that I am in, we're all on the same kind of par, which is great. And then it just comes down to talent. So
it's a really, really good way of doing it, like, you know.
Yeah.
I think definitely because then it's a matter of preference and personal choice of what they like, especially for the day that's in it. Like.
Absolutely, like you know yourself. If you were planning a wedding or you're anything like that, you were going looking at your singers. Someone's voice will jump out more than the other person's, and that's brilliant because there's a bit of everything for everybody, you know. So. And
have you got you were saying about reviews and stuff like that? People give reviews. You have somewhere that they give you a review or something like that? Is it?
I do. Oh my God.
Site or what way does it work?
Stephen, reviews are so important, and thankfully, to date, I have this quote that I always put on my social media and on my stories. I get the best couples because I genuinely do. Every single couple that I have had since beginning this journey of wedding singing, they are just awesome people. They're so lovely, down to earth, and at the end of it all, they always leave me a beautiful review. And it's not a one-liner, it's always a paragraph or an essay or something like that. And personally, for me, that means so much to me because it's just another little way of saying thank you, you know, for being there on our day. Every girl, well, that I would know, when they envision that day of getting married, they picture that moment in their mind's eye of walking up the aisle, you know, in the dress. And 90% of the time, they'll have the song they want to walk down the aisle to. For me to have the pleasure to do that and do it as a job is amazing.
But just to get that personal touch at the end for them to even give the review, because they don't have to, I suppose. Like, you know,
it's so important.
It definitely means a lot. Yeah.
It's so important for, I suppose, couples coming down the line who are planning. Like, you know yourself, you're buying something off eBay or Amazon or whatever else. You're going to go into the reviews. How was the service, good or bad? You know, you'll go on real reviews. So that's why, for me personally, I feel, as well as them being so lovely and nice to get, it's super important that the next people that come along to book you can go, right, John and Mary had a really good experience. Such and such had another good experience. Let's send this girl an inquiry and see if she's available. So.
When someone books you, do you always, like, is it yourself and Tom all the time when they book, or do you book with a band?
So Tommy is primarily with me most of the time. I offer an array of musicians, from piano, guitar, harp, you name it, violin, if they're available, pending availability. If they're available, they're with me. So, but primarily it would be piano or guitar, pending on the couple's preference. So. Tommy knows me since I was probably able to speak as well, so he's with me a lot of the time, and he's a wonderful, wonderful musician. I'd be lost without him. So.
He's absolutely super. Some of those chords, they'll have to be asked him.
Don't tell him that, will he? He won't. He'll have a big head.
No, I would love to have him on. We'll get him next time for some of the interviews as well. Like, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Any top tips for anyone if they're starting out in the business?
Any top tips? Go for it. Just don't even second guess yourself. like I was saying, touched on earlier on, we're our own worst critics. And we will talk ourselves, we're great at that, we'll talk ourselves out of anything.
Talk yourself out of what?
You know yourself. Someone, like, I don't know, is it an Irish thing, but when someone gives you a compliment, you're like, will you stop, do you know?
Yeah.
We can't take a compliment. So I always would say, go for it, do what you love. In regards to top tips for weddings, yes, there actually is, there's two. One of them will be more so aimed at church weddings. We all know there's mass booklets and things like that. So normally it comes to the time of going to print with the mass booklets, and a couple would say to me, you know, Laura, let's pick the songs, I want to get the mass booklets printed. So a top tip that I would tend to offer is, if you are going to print on your mass booklets, don't put your music in. Put a nice little, you know, music symbol in instead of it, because if you're like me, I go to a wedding and there's a booklet there and I'll scan through everything and see what's coming up. So I always say to a couple, just put a nice little music symbol there, and it keeps your music a surprise for your guests, number one. And number two, if we need to make a last minute change, you know, the booklets aren't going to be impacted by that, whether they've gone to print or not. So it's just another little thing that any bride or groom doesn't have to worry about. Just pop a little symbol in there and let it go to print. So yeah.
Don't have the words of the songs there in case you sing them wrong.
Listen, I wish the congregation would get involved in singing along. Imagine that. That'd be so cool. So yeah.
But you've won some awards as well.
I have.
Tell us about them.
So I am a supplier with Weddings Online, and you may have heard them. And I have been with them for a number of years now. And we got nominated for the Wedding Singer of the Year category in February of, it was the March of 2020. No, it was the February of 2020. Before, we won't say the C word. And off we went, myself and Tommy, we put our glad rags on and we headed off to the awards and had a lovely meal and the whole shebang. And it came to our category, which was Wedding Singer of the Year. And I'd been nominated a few times before, but to no avail. So lo and behold, anyway, out my name came, and sure, I nearly deafened poor Tommy beside me. ran as fast as I could up to the stage, and was awarded that, and that just meant, so it was just like a little goal. I just needed a little tick of the box that I needed to get over and done it. So that was fine. Ran outside, rang everybody. I'm after winning, I got it, because in fairness, I wouldn't have became a finalist without the help of everybody who voted for me and got me to that point, and before it was independently judged. So anyway, that was fine. Out I went, just came back in anyway, ready to sit down, took a drink of water, and it had moved on to, which is the end of the night, and they award an award called the Overall Supplier of the Year. So it's across the board for everything, which you're not nominated for, but it's like an accolade that the judges would offer and give up. So I was sitting there and I was like talking to Tommy. He was like, it's great, thankfully we done it. And they called my name for a second time. Well, if he wasn't deaf in the left ear, he was deaf in the right ear by the end of it. Oh my God, that just meant the world to me. Like to go there hoping to get one, but to come out with two, and the big one at the end was just amazing. And it has really helped my business as well.
I was going to say, it's definitely going to help, because then you can put it on the CV, so to such, or on whatever you're
I'm an award winner now.
Yeah,
25 years down the line. It doesn't matter, I'm an award winner.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, that just meant a huge amount to me. And again, couldn't have done it without all my couples and past brides and grooms. And so, yeah.
So Wedding Singers Online, that's where people find you?
It's Weddings Online.
Or Weddings Online, sorry, okay.
You'll find me on all the social media outlets. You'll get me on Facebook and Instagram. My handle is Laura Colgan Music. So, that's where you'll get me. Pop me an email, send me a WhatsApp, whatever.
Do you want to say hello to anyone?
You'll find me. Hi, Mommy. I finally made it to the telly. Late show, here we come.
Brilliant.
So that's it.
Are you releasing any songs? I know you mentioned Spotify earlier. You do have some songs on there anyway.
Yeah, I was very, very lucky to.
Is it Laura Colgan Music on Spotify as well?
Just Laura Colgan, yeah.
Laura Colgan, yeah.
So I was very lucky to record some cracking numbers over the years with a good pal of mine, Nigel Connell, and a wonderful singer called Matt Levy. And I think there's one of my own up there as well. I done a Crowded House cover, my own version of a Crowded House cover of Fall at Your Feet.
So do go check them out. And in regards to what's coming up, loads of exciting things in the pipeline. Just need to get around to finishing them all now. I've no excuse, yeah. So just tying up a few loose ends, and I look forward to what the next year brings. So,
Laura, thank you very much for being on the show. I'm delighted to have you here. And
Thank
you're
you
going
so
to sing
much.
another couple of songs for us, is that right?
yeah, I'm going to go and sing a couple more songs. These are a little bit more up-tempo now for the likes of a drinks reception and things like that. So a little different. But Stephen, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks very much.
You'll
Come on,
have me
take the
back,
stage.
will you?
I will, yeah, definitely come back. Yeah,
Thank
definitely. Took me long enough to get you. I think I sent Laura a message probably about 3 or 4 months ago. I seen her doing a live thing. I think it was on Instagram or one of those pages. Then I sent her a message, and then I met her here. She came along to one of the shows we had. It was a charity event for Pink Tie. But I'm going to hand you back over to Laura to take the stage and finish off our performance. Thanks very much, Laura. There you go.
Thank you. So this is a very popular song that we would sing at a drinks reception, and this is called Summer in Dublin.
Take me away from the city, lead me to where I can be on my own. I wanted to see you, and now that I have, I just wanna be left alone. I'll always remember your kind words, and I still remember your name. But I've seen you changing and turning, and I know that things just won't be the same. I remember that summer in Dublin, and the Liffey it stained like hell, and the young people walking on Grafton Street, everyone looking so well. I was singing a song I heard somewhere called Rock and Roll Never Forgets, while my humming was smothered by a 46A, the scream of a low flying jet. So I jumped on a bus to Delirium, stopping off to pick up my guitar, and a drunk on the bus told me, how do you reach? I was glad we weren't going too far.
much. Okay, so this next one is a little medley we popped together, so hope you enjoy it. Fun little number. What have we next, Tommy? What's coming up on the list? So this next one is a really, really popular one at weddings, especially for an exit song. I always recommend go with something upbeat and fun because everyone's going to be clapping and cheering you out. So this one is called Take My Hand. Take my hand and we can go walking. We can talk about whatever is on your mind. Be my friend or secretly like me. I wanna catch you staring and make you go red. I play with your hair like there's no other, and I'm no longer scared of your older brother. He said, "Oh, cool man, I know you love her." Oh yeah, you're
standing there freezing, but my clothes look so good on you. You play with my hair like there's no other. I'm no longer scared of your older brother. He said, "Look home, and I know you love her." Oh yeah. Get you in loads of trouble, get you love on the double. We can get drunker, words will get mud, cigarette smoke will bust our bubble. Oh yeah. Take my hand, we can go walking. We can talk about whatever is on your mind. Be my friend, or secretly like me. I wanna catch you staring and make you go red. You play with my hair like there's no other. I'm no longer scared of your older brother. He said, "Look home, and I know you love her." Oh yeah. You're all that I needed, you're all that I'm feeling, and I'll be the one who's kicking and screaming when you have to go home every evening. Oh yeah. Take my hand, and we can go walking. We can talk about whatever is on your mind. Be my friend, or secretly like me. I wanna catch you staring and make you go red. Take my hand.
That's a really fun number to sing. So anyway, guys, we're coming towards the end of our little set, and this is another very, very popular song by an Irish group. This is called Dreams.
And oh my love is changing every day, every possible way. And all my dreams, it's never quite as it seems, never quite as it seems. I know I felt like this before, and now I feel it even more, because it came from you. Then I open up and see the person falling here is me. A different way to be.
Thank you very much.
There you have it, folks. Thank you very much once again, Laura and Tom. Really appreciate it. Fantastic stuff. Folks, we're here again next week, same time, same place. Tune in, keep the music alive. See you then.